Hey, everybody. It's great to be with you here again on the 2020 Vision Show. Got a very special guest tonight, one that a lot of Jamaica is friendly with and they love. They've already sent in a bunch of comments about how much they love this special guest. I'm going to bring her on here in a little bit. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and just throw our little intro in, and we'll be ready to roll in a minute. Hey, it's Jolene Dyer.
Hello.
I was going to try to pull like a little veil out and say, it's Jolene, you know? Yeah. So, Jolene, how are you tonight?
I am very good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
How are you?
I am very good, and I'm so glad that you're on the show tonight. We are so excited to have you. I've got to just put up some of these comments already that have been flying in before we even got you. Nobody's, we've had some great guests, but boy, everybody started throwing messages to us even earlier while the day was going on, that you're sent from God, that you're the best, that you're really amazing, that they love you, Carolyn Williams there. So Dennis Weiser, awesome lady, wife, mother, incredible worker, and the most wonderful friend.
Oh, Denise.
and then you have, she's okay.
Oh, my best workout buddy ever, Jeremy.
Exactly. So I'll tell you what, that makes it easy to introduce you, because so many people are already flipping on there, and I think they know you're out here today. So Gary Robinson, we're a good friend of ours, and
yeah.
I've been excited for this night. We did have Nurse was planned for this night, and her internet just doesn't work yet. So she is going to be next week. So in case anybody's on here like, hey, that's not Nurse Karen.
Yeah. Nurse Karen is way cuter.
Well, they'll know that she'll be on next Wednesday at 7.
Okay.
Is what we're doing. Actually, 4 o'clock. 4:30. 4:30.
Interesting.
4:30. Yeah. So that's what we'll be doing next week. So just a natural to have you in and be a part of the story. You are a huge part of the story. That's what a lot of this show is about. Is the story of professional eye care, mission of sight in particular, and all the things that are going on. And even though you haven't been in it from like day one, you have been in it in a very you've made a big impact in what you do, and you came during a really huge impact time too.
Thank you.
So it's kind of gonna be fun just to kind of talk a little bit about what's going on. Hey, they didn't like your hairdo.
I wondered if it's yours because I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know that. I know you came right from the office to this office.
Yes.
You were on the move, so anybody knows that that's a little bit why we were taking a little time there, just to give you a chance to breathe,
Yeah, thank you for that. Very considerate.
Yeah. So Jolene.
Yeah.
You are, oh, look, Gary wants, wait, here is my mom. How's your eye? That's the first question out there.
Thank you, Auntie D. My eyes are getting along. It's coming. It's a week. You can see it. It's a little swollen still, very heavy. Right. But it's coming along.
It is.
I'm over the roughest part.
You really are, aren't you?
Yes.
You're like today's your exactly 1 week point.
1 week, yeah. Like 1 week after the surgery is done. So I'm over the roughest point, and I'm happy it's done.
Yeah. We're going to show a couple of video clips here about, we kind of have a little chronicle of you. It's going to be really fun to put the whole thing together because
I want to see that too.
We haven't really put them all together yet, but I got a couple I just want to preview tonight.
Okay.
Going that way. Hey, Tanya, she's really fun and motivates her patients.
Bless you, Tanya.
It's so true. You know,
Oh,
one thing that we found out last weekend at the JD Frost Retreat, that Rainmaker Retreat, is that one of your skills is what is like communicator or connector, or what was your thing there, Jolene?
it was communication was the
Mhm.
main one. I could find it quickly.
You're okay.
But yeah, but communication and loyalty
Mm.
and woo
Oh,
and
woo, yes.
woo, yeah. So that those are kind of my gig. Those are my strengths, is what was said.
Yeah.
But I'd love to be able to give you some. Oh, I found it very quickly.
Hmm.
It said I'm responsible. No, that's not me. Oh, well, I am responsible.
You are.
I am. I am. Yeah, I am. That's not me. It's okay. We'll talk about it when I find it.
We
But
could
yeah.
talk about we find it. We definitely know you're a communicator. One of the things that's really kind of that you've really recognized for in really in Jamaica, and at least in our sphere, is your position as the PatwaLady.
Oh yes,
You know,
I certainly enjoy that position too.
I'm glad you enjoy it, because I know a lot of people enjoy it. I mean, like so many people in our following or everything else really love what you do in that realm. When you translate for the doctors that come in, they do surgery. They try to be really compassionate to the patients and explain it in a lot of detail and all the things that they should do after surgery. And I just remember the time when you jumped in and boom, you dropped down the patois translation for everyone, and it just went like viral, you know?
Oh yes, it's so funny, Doc. It's so important for us to trust God and just know that He has our life in His hands. Because I remember growing up, there are a few things that I was told that I needed to stop doing.
Really?
It's true as it can be, and I don't think I've ever shared this story with you before. I don't know if it's never share weird stories online, but
Yeah.
I was always told to stop the hugging and kissing. My mouth will drop off if I don't stop. True, and you know how Jamaicans are. Your lip are gonna dry up, your lip are gonna drop off, right? I was told to stop talking patois, speak properly. True. You know how Jamaican parents are. You need
Yeah,
to get
it's
that
true.
English language in.
Yeah.
And I'm a little too friendly.
Mm.
I'm a little too friendly. And it's so interesting that as the Lord would have it, that's what's, oh, the last one was stop talking so much. I
Oh,
still talk a
wow.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that those three things, four things are really what's working for me. Just being able to love on our patients.
Yeah.
If I know you a minute, 5 minutes, or 5 years, I think I give the same amount of love.
Hmm.
Talking patois works, given the name that comes in, and just being friendly and
Hmm.
talk, not being
Yeah.
afraid to talk.
What
And
about
and
your
I
mouth? What about your mouth falling off?
yeah, in Jamaica you say you kiss too much, man, your mouth are gonna drop off.
Your mouth will drop off.
And
That's funny.
I found the strengths that you're asking about. If you still wanted that.
Yeah, give us some.
It said my five strengths are communication,
Hmm.
belief,
Mm.
woo, responsibility, and developer.
Developer. Well, that's
Developer.
interesting, because you are that is one of your position descriptions in the professional eye care mission of sight. That
That's true.
is
That's
business
true.
development, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you've definitely developed a lot of attention. You know,
Hmm.
one of the things that just us being on this show is even a little bit of a product of the fact of what we realized how much attention we were getting just from doing the posts that we do, that especially that viral one where you're down there translating. Um,
It's fun.
yeah,
It's and it's really not about disrespecting or kind of I've heard persons say, well,
yeah,
we're Jamaican and we talk English, so why is it that she has to translate? It's not
right,
like we are stupid and blah blah blah. But Dr. Nick can tell you, you can tell when you're in that operatory and you see those patients a week after, a month after, when they get that good old Creole and how we all delve down into things, they respond a lot better in terms of how they use their drops. They
Yeah.
respond a lot better in terms of just the instructions. It's digested, it's received, and it's fun. And that's, I think, the
Mhm.
best part about everything that I do, just having some fun while I do it.
Yeah, I love. I was going through some of the videos tonight, and just while you're doing your translations, you can always hear someone in the background going, "Yes, yum,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
agree.
right. Yeah, I agree with that." Like you never hear them saying that when the American doctors are giving their description.
That's
It's
true.
like,
Like,
"Oh,
achoo,
yeah,
miss,
that's
achoo.
true. Yeah." So, oh boy, Ken Walls is on. He's hey moning us. He's trying to put a little
Yeah.
fatwa
Hey, Ken.
in. Oh man. I don't just drop that we're in this. I mean, I'm trying to do some new things tonight too to keep the
Yeah.
show fresh. Gonna try this. This is a clip from our last surgery time. I wouldn't say, I mean, I didn't prep it or do anything like that. It's just kind of organic where you're at. But let's
Okay,
give
let's
everybody
see.
a little flavor of it. I'm gonna pop this on there, and I'm gonna like do a couple of things here to kind of fling it over there. This
Okay.
is the last one with Dr. Stahl, and it's kind of fun. It gives an idea what we're
Is that
talking
we
about.
have the sunshades, and a lot of the time when we go out, we don't realize how hot the sun is because we're so used to the sun. But with the brand new eye, sometimes it feel like an extra heat. So if you make sure so you wear your sunshade, you also don't want to dust on the blood of the eye because I say the eye new enough. The eye brand new enough. No, not the eye, not new, not the whole eye. We know the vision new, right? At 2020 anyway, so we have a new vision. And then all of the things that were small now, like a Bible, leaf or sitting like so small, you make sure your readers to read the Bible, because you don't have no excuse to tell pastor say you can't come to church, you can't read Bible. Right? So we give you the readers with that. There's a patch that is on the eye now. You have to keep that little plastic patch. I will give you one tape. Because at night time the eye might get crutch you. And remember saying the surgery, say they crutch, when they look at your displays or the lens and they something they about come back and doctor fix and start to sit now and right? And the last thing we give you a cross. And it's not true. Remind you of the goodness of God. Amen. So all of them in one nice blue pass, so the sunshades look like a Ray-Ban, and we know the grand thing, then we try to teach that out. So hold it good. Like, I want a nice little bag with all our number and put it. As doctor said, today the last day that come into the surgery yesterday, you follow up and go be at the place before you start. So when you start the one from Westmoreland, KP side, then you go back down there. So if you come mandible, I start a mandible for more beard, so we will give you the apartment to the place. So when I leave your guest our spell, you're going to get the exact time, exact place, and exact location. Good? Amen.
That's a good little flavor of it, Let me get that
Awesome.
into there. Oh, I take that out. Yeah, we're not going to leave you good no spell. What do you say that? What is that one you say? So they know where they're going?
Say what?
You said something like, we're not leave you to
Oh, me not leave if you guess nor spell.
yes nor spell. Yeah.
Leave if you try figure it out. It's all there on paper. So you're not trying to guess or to try to remember what I'm saying. It's all there.
Yeah.
Me not leave if you guess nor spell.
Love it. One of the, when you watch those, it's fun because everybody's captivated by what you're. I mean, everybody's listening to you. There's no like you look at everybody behind us, like all the staff.
Right?
Like, what's she gonna do next? Really what it
Oh
comes down
boy.
to, because you never know what's gonna come out of that mouth that was gonna drop off.
Oh, that's true.
So it's good.
Too fun. Too fun. It is awesome. And I always love expressing myself, and I think that's the benefit of all of this, being able to just express what I'm saying and have fun with it. And sometimes it might be funny or sometimes it might not, but
Yeah,
just having fun with what we're saying and just enjoying sharing and enjoying the people as we share, because it can only get better.
it's
And they
true.
can only get better from learning or understanding something else.
Yeah, we love it. We all love it. Right now, if you could share this out That'd be really great, because when people share the show, then a lot more people get a view of it. So thanks, Ken, for sharing it out and reminding me. Ken's the Facebook coach. He always likes to kind of help us do it the right way.
Thank you, Sir Ken.
Yeah. So that was a little taste of your PatwaLady. I got to tell a story about, I think when it really hit us, I know Rhonda was down, I was down. We were going over to the call center down there in downtown Mobay. And it was our first thing, because we started thinking, we need to do a call center. We got to do something to kind of be able to reach out to our patients and communicate with them better and everything. And we had our night. We had a beautiful meeting. We walk out in the parking lot, and we're getting in the car, and someone, the second, third floor, he goes, "Hey, PatwaLady!"
That is how it started. That's exactly how it started.
Name, wasn't it? It was pretty much when we made the name, was it?
That's exactly the time we made the name. It's like, wait, let's check if that's taken already. And we checked Instagram and it's not taken. We checked Facebook. It's like, yes, that's the name. PatwaLady. It's fun.
And that wasn't even that long ago. I mean, when was that? Like October? Or wait, no, I don't know.
I feel Aprilish. Maybe a little longer than
longer than I thought. Yeah,
almost a year or so.
But that was like early on. I mean, I think the trip was in March, maybe, that you did the first Patwa thing, and
so very early in the game.
Had to lean out the window, stick their head out there, and scream down upon you. I mean,
it was so funny. I went back to the call center, and because it was so far, and she was all the way up about the 5th floor, so I couldn't recognize her. I really didn't know who it was either. And I went back, and she said, "I needed a call you, miss. I needed a call you." And we said, "Well, thanks to you, I have a name. No, I'm the PatwaLady." So it worked. It worked, and I love it. I love it. I can share who I am, how I am, and people are accepting that, and that's awesome. I'm loving it.
Yeah. And you really are the PatwaLady. I mean, you really throw it around the office, actually. Like I mean, you don't mince with it. It just comes out, and just
racha patwa come out. With all sorts of loving words. Only loving words, though.
Yeah, man. Because everything we do is in love, really. That's the reality. One thing I would say about you, Jolene, is that maybe they told you need to stop hugging and kissing your mouth to drop off, all those. But you are definitely always demonstrating compassion to our patients, to our staff. Well, really to everybody, and all the visitors that come in. Oh my golly, if I had another visitor say, "You better never lose Jolene," or "Oh my gosh, what would you do without her?" Those things that they say, and how much you impact their lives. It's really it's a real blessing.
Thank you.
Gift that you have.
Thank you.
We're talking about gifts that you have. Now let's talk about another side that's just really obvious that I'm sure people would want to know about, is the vitiligo. Because I mean, you could look at that in a lot of different ways about what that goes through. And I think we need to talk about that part and how that happened. What's going on? Like, why do you have those spots on your face, and your hands? What's going on, Jolene?
It's so interesting. This morning, my child's school, NAS Children's Center, that asked me to come and read a story to the kindergarten class. And I know the poor little babies, they're like, "Oh, Auntie looks a little different," but they're not going to ask directly.
Right.
And so I said, "Anybody knows what's happening with Auntie's skin?" And my daughter is in the kindergarten class. She's like, "My mommy has vitiligo." I was like, nobody else gets that. I'm like, "What is that?" That one of the child says, "You have vertigo," right? But it's vitiligo, Vitiligo. I see the spelling came up just now. Yes, correct. Yeah. And it's really just a loss of the pigment in the skin. So I'm not suffering from anything. It's really just a lack of melanin. And what I will need to do is just to keep wearing sunblock, especially obviously because I'm in Jamaica and it's almost always 87 degrees. Beautiful, just in case it's cold where you are. You're always up for a visit.
Yeah.
So, and so, just sunblock and the protection for my skin. So that's what happened. It started when I was 12 years old. So that was a rough part, just because you're right, you're really leaving what we call primary school in Jamaica and we're going on to high school. What is that in the US? What is primary school called? Elementary school?
Yeah, you're going out of elementary. Into middle school we go.
Into middle school. Okay, so I'm heading into what you call middle school, and that was rough because that's the age you're discovering yourself. You're trying to figure out who you are, and that was a little challenge. Kids can be super mean, especially when they don't understand what's happening, and so they have words, jargon, songs, all sorts of things that they would use. But the change came. I got saved in ninth grade. I've always been a church girl. I got saved in ninth grade, and I was reminded that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made by God. And even with that reminder, I'm not going to lie to you, Doc. With that reminder, it really still took a healing that came emotionally and mentally from God before I could understand. And maybe later on in the game understand the purpose. And so even under knowing and hearing the word, you're fearfully and wonderfully made, you're a priesthood, and you hear all those words, nice words that came from the Bible, it was a rough patch, because you didn't understand what was going on. In terms of myself, I didn't understand what was going on. It was not very popular. I'm the only person in my family and my community that has this condition. And so you wouldn't find that people would be receptive, because the people just stare. I remember a man was walk up to me and say, "You're ugly like Duppy, miss."
Oh my God.
And in Jamaican terms, Duppy is ghost. I say, "Ugly man," just walk up to you and just say that with no remorse. And it took a lot just to kind of find myself. And I remember crying night, day, just crying, asking the Lord for healing. Lord, please heal me. Whatever it takes, please heal me. And then guess what, Doc? I, just like anything else that the Lord steps into, I stopped realizing that I had vitiligo. I would remember when I walked past a mirror. So I realized that God healed me mentally and emotionally, if that makes sense. So the physical healing wasn't there to manifest that I've come right back to a darker color as I was originally. But it wasn't affecting me mentally. If somebody said I was ugly, or somebody like pulled a joke out like you look like cow or 100 Dalmatian, you'd be like, "I've heard that one before, like 5 years ago. Can you please just come with something new?
Come with something new."
I got a better joke. And I just pull a joke out of myself, right?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "It's not fun anymore if you're laughing at yourself." It's like, well, that's kind of it. And I've also come to realize that you do have a lot of people who have some serious emotional issues themselves, and unfortunately is not aware of how to deal with it. And so if they make you feel less about yourself, then they think they may feel better about themselves.
Right.
And so in realizing some of these things, I've come to say, you know what? Why not just let me help you feel better about yourself from the start? So I'll just love on you. Love on you from the start, and hopefully you won't find the need to let anybody else feel less than. Yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell.
I can't imagine. I mean, I've been in Jamaica a long time, and I know how we just tell it like it is. Like,
yeah, man.
Speak it right out. You're yellow. You're white. You're a brown man. You're a black man. And just what you must have heard over your lifetime. I can't imagine, really. And to think that, I think that's one of the miracles about you and your life, is that you've overcome it. And not really have you overcome it, you've really rock it, like you really rock vitiligo, so yeah. so it's really great to see how that's happened. I've got a question. Like, so did it start in a little patch and then spread like
right here?
Really?
As maybe as small as this tiny one is, this is where it started. So what happened was, it started the summer before school, a tiny patch just as this one is. And in Jamaica, summer is mango season.
Mm.
And in mango season time, your red mango, ripe or green. So my mom thought I went under the mango tree, and red mean you start picking mangoes that's not even ready yet, or even ready, but just like kind of hawking down that tree. And she
Mhm.
thought I picked a green mango tree because the stain can burn you from a
Mm.
green mango. And so she's like, you see how you got on the mango tree, go burn up your skin. And so that's what we thought it was, just a tiny stain from the mango tree, because vitiligo is nothing that we've heard about before.
Mhm.
And when we realized, it started spreading, so it spread to your fingertips, your toes, your nose, and just your eyelids and so on first. And so we was like, I'm not quite sure what this is. And then we went to the dermatologist. They said that, well, it's vitiligo and this is what you need to do. You need to go to Cuba and so on. And we went to Cuba, and they have something called Melaginina Plus. And there's so many things that we tried and it didn't work.
Mm.
And maybe understanding now that purpose was greater than just me. And
Mm.
that's something that's neat, that in our brokenness or in our time of whatever is really happening to us, we cannot understand that at this point it's not me. It's a lot. It's a hard thing to digest. That the
Mm.
Lord will use this thing for something later on in the future.
Mm. Mm.
It's very hard to digest at the point. But I realized after that it's really not for me. It's really for me to bring that word to say it's gonna be okay. If your head big, if it's small, if you have one eye, one foot, everybody have something. Everybody have something. Some people want show, some people want don't show, and
Yeah.
it's really how it is that you take that on. Hey,
Mhm.
Christopher. Yeah, it's really how you take that on, how you own that, and work with it. So I would say my message is, if you have vitiligo, if you have diabetes, if you have one eye, if you have one leg, whatever it is, it's really for you to love yourself. And people will not have any other choice but to love you. If
Mm.
you throw on a pity party,
Yeah.
it people will just dive into that.
Mhm.
And so it's so important that you love yourself first through the love of Christ. That's my
Mhm.
message.
Mm.
It
Nice.
is.
Yeah. So that's my mom there. So is vitiligo hereditary?
It can be. It can
Mm.
also skip generations.
Yeah.
So it could be that people before me in my lineage had it before, or it could be that I'm the first. It can be caused from stress, can be caused from wrong medication, it can be hereditary, as we said before. So
Mm.
there are so many things that could cause that.
How about this? Can you catch it? Can I catch it from
Nope,
you?
can't catch it. Otherwise, my family would have it.
Yeah.
Doc would have it. Miss
Mhm.
Rhonda would have it. The
We'd have
staff,
black.
everybody
Oh,
at Professional Eye Care, because I hug everybody.
right. Exactly. Would we get white patches or brown patches? You think?
It would be a tough one. Like, what should I give you
Let's see.
today? Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah. So you've really overcome that. I mean, and I don't even think that that's even. I think it's begun, but I don't think it's even anywhere near where you'll be on that. We call it a platform a lot of time for you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like they're putting up there as a figure piece, but just it is a level that you can communicate to people on, not just about skin color and whatnot, but like you're saying, everybody's got something.
Everybody have
Some of us
something.
you can see it, and other ones are hiding it down deep inside. But
Some
yeah,
people ban it up, some
mhm,
people let it loose. So everybody
yeah,
have something.
yeah. So here's something that you have. I believe that you have a call to the recovery of sight. Like
Mm.
for some reason, way or another, you've come into professional eye care and mission of sight, and you've made a huge impact. I mean, you definitely have done a lot of things in the time that you've been in the company. Um, what I mean, would you agree? Do you believe that you've been called to the recovery of sight?
I absolutely agree. And a part of that is when you enjoy what you do so much that you really don't feel like you're working.
Hmm.
Um, when you're at work and you're talking up the patients, or you're welcoming a team, or you're bringing in persons, or you're doing paperwork to get things done, I believe almost every surgery period, I just kind of break down in tears, because it is such a joy to see people who have lost their independence through
Man.
blindness just regain that independence. And that is such a joy that is really unspeakable. You're like, I remember, I don't know if you remember this, Doc, but I remember when we were in Froome one day, and we were on this exercise drive, and we went running one early morning, and a piece of sadness just hit me. You remember that, Doc?
Oh man, do I ever remember that? I'm glad you're bringing that back up. Like you took on the weight of that.
And that's, I feel that's the calling. That's the tug on my heart that says it has to be more than a paycheck. It has to be more than just the people we work for, the people we work with, but just the bigger picture. The bigger picture. That weight was on my shoulder, Doc. I cried for a mile or two.
I do remember. I mean, and it was like, it was heavy.
It was heavy. It was
Well,
heavy.
I wonder if that's the moment. I wouldn't say that's the moment you realized that you're called, but that was definitely a moment where God touched you in the mission, I think, of what we were doing.
Absolutely.
It was
Absolutely.
kind of early on, true?
It was. And I'm sure people are wondering, what am I talking about? But yeah, it was just a quick reminder from the Lord that that there's people that's out there that need us and just need love.
Yeah.
Because they may not hear about us, and this is a great way, which is a platform to hear about us. But even when they get into our offices, just need love, because they have been locked in to that dark place so much, so long. So and people are maybe not the nicest, and very similar, Doc. When you have what people would consider a deficiency, or you're not as normal as they would want you to be, they just sometimes are very mean. And if when you walk through those doors, an extra piece of love can drop on you, why not?
Yeah.
And I think when things like this come easy to you, you should just do it. You should just do it. And I love to love. It's just second nature.
Yeah. Well, we talk about God incidents in our story a lot, and I think that you are one of those God incidents, like that. It's no coincidence that you came to us. I'm going to leave that story for maybe later. Hey, Jack Branch asks, how much is each surgery? I'd like to hear from you, Jamaican perspective on the surgery, because our surgeries aren't always free. We do sponsorship for people who can't afford, but we do have a sustainability fee.
Right.
What is your perspective? Because I always have to talk about it sometimes, but I'd love to hear your perspective.
All right. So I really do honestly believe in the sustainable feed. When you give back, at least you give a part of, you become more involved, you throw yourself in it a little bit more, you become more responsible. Sometimes if you just kind of get things free all the time, you kind of you just don't care, become it free, so what, you know? So you don't
Say
carry the
that
part
one
of
again.
it.
Everybody needs to catch that one again.
Say what? So it free, so what?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, nothing it free. So me not know, but just I go down the feet, it free.
Yeah.
Neither here nor there to me, right? But in Jamaica, in terms of the cost, and I know it's greatly appreciated, you would find cataract surgery to be anywhere from 250 to 300,000, and understandably so.
Jamaican
But the
dollars.
Lord, pardon?
Jamaican dollars.
Jamaican dollars, right? But the Lord would have it that He would pour into our ministry, where we're able to offer it for 95,000 US. Sorry, 95,000 Jamaican. Oh, that would have been an expensive cataract surgery. So 95,000 Jamaican, which is about approximately 700 US dollars.
Yeah.
Comparing to 2,000 US dollars, and so persons are very appreciative of it. They would shop around, and they would find us, and we would take the best care of them. And it is our joy to do just that, take the best care of them. But in terms of our perspective in Jamaica, accessibility, affordability, and being exceptional is what we're about. So
So
the
true.
ministry is treat others as we want to be treated, and that's what we do. That's what
Yeah.
we're about.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a great living example of that for us. I mean, you're really kind of the spokesperson of professional eye care a lot. You know, I
And
mean,
I do talk a lot, so that works.
part are and you know, it's a super feature of it. You know, here's the other thing though, you're actually a patient of professional eye care too.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm one of the newer patients. You have to
Yeah.
share that story.
Yeah, we're gonna do that one now. So, real fun part that will be coming out for everybody to see is this kind of the what do you call it, a little documentary or whatever of you having pterygium surgery, because you've got some great videos out about pterygium, about
Right.
your vision from your granny that you came up with that are so popular. The pterygium one is really good, and you actually have pterygium because you're one of those people who all your life really never had to wear glasses because you could
Right.
exposed to wind, dust, dirt, and all those other things, not because you have vitiligo, but just because you are exposed to all those elements.
I'm in the Caribbean too, right?
Yeah. So you've got you've got your little pterygium
Had, please,
had,
had.
yes.
Hmm.
And Dr. Myers, who is like the queen of pterygium surgery, she's so good
Yes.
at it.
Yes.
She's leaving in April because they've done their 2-year term, and we knew, hey, we better get you in there before the queen leaves.
Exactly.
So I've got a little video clip of you when you started it, and
I've not seen these, so let's see.
yeah,
Oh.
let's see. Well, you know, the first one. Let's run the first one just for a little bit and see if it gets a little on, because I haven't really edited it yet.
Hmm.
We'll switch out, but
Okay.
let's see if I can work the gig here. All right, I'm gonna come on over, and yeah, here we go. We'll fly into another one. So this was the day of surgery.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see. Let's see what that's.
Yes.
It's a big day for you.
It is.
You
I'm
are-
not nervous.
You're not.
I'm
Well,
brave.
you've had surgery before because you had LASIK.
I did LASIK before.
Yeah,
I did.
but that was in the States. Dr.
Yes,
Davis.
Dr. Davis did
Tell us
that.
about today. What's happening?
Today I have surgery on my pterygium. Can you see a little flesh growing on the eye right there?
So you've got a great pterygium video out there, and you actually have one yourself.
Yes,
So-
and I'm going to remove it. And our doctor here, Professional Eye Care, is going to do it, Dr. Mary. So
Yeah.
I have all faith in our product.
Awesome.
So that is what's happening today. So I'm in my attire, my not work attire,
Yeah, you're
my
having
patient
surgery.
attire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's be walking through every step of the way with you today.
Yeah, to show you that it's not as hard as you think.
Yes.
It's going to be great.
Awesome.
Awesome.
She's like, it's gonna be great.
No, it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
I still think it went great.
Oh, it did go great. You know, it did go great. So that was you on the before. I got a couple of that are little you doing your antics when you walk in the front door. You know, like, oh, I'm gonna have surgery. You know, but that video, like you, as we chronicle it, is going to be something that's going to help other people to
Yeah.
really understand that. Yeah, this is what it takes to go through surgery and all those things. So, you know, since we're on it, why don't I just flip over to the next the day? This is I don't really have the surgery action, but this is the day when we took your patch off. So
Okay, let's see that.
let me go over to that one now. Right, here it comes.
We're gonna get this patch off of you.
Oh,
What is
I
it?
see the light. Is it nasty?
No, it's not nasty. It's not nasty.
Not
There's
nasty
a
at all,
little,
actually.
there's a little bit of ointment there
Mhm.
to keep it comfortable, and it has antibiotics in it, so that's good.
Okay.
All right, go ahead and blink.
My eyes are refusing to open.
There you go.
I see.
Look how pretty it is.
It's not bad for the first day. It's gonna be really foggy. Look at that face.
I have a great appreciation for
Yeah.
the persons who just have one eye
Mhm.
and who I emotionally connected with them, but now I physically know exactly
Right.
what's happening. So this morning I was getting my daughter ready for school. She's 3, and I'm brushing her hair, and I have to be tilting my head to see like how good her hair is being done.
Mm.
So afterwards, her daddy came and he started brushing it again. I was like, I brush her hair already. It was done properly, but because I couldn't see, I just had one eye, I couldn't see properly. Everything is skewed. I was trying to eat, and the food is ending up on my cheek because
Yeah.
I'm over.
No depth perception.
Yeah, there's no depth perception. And then something else happened. I was brushing my teeth and trying to put the toothpaste on the brush, and it went to the side of the brush instead of on the brush.
Yeah.
I was like, oh Lord, please be with all the persons who have a challenge with their eyes, because this is rough.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just one night.
Wow.
That's just one night.
Yeah.
So if you have a problem with your eyes, come in, let us fix it. Because if you can't see again, I'd love for you to see again.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And now here we are with your pterygium. Oh, there you go. You're opening the eye now. So you
It's
can.
nasty, right?
No, it's
No,
not
it's
nasty. No, it's not,
I
Jolene.
just-
You look actually really good for a
want a
post-op.
mirror?
Let's take a look. Oh, you're crying, Jolene.
Oh, there's
With a
a
tear.
happy tear ish running down. Yeah.
But you're gonna tear up a little bit.
Oh, that's not what I was imagining. I
Yeah,
thought it was
open
really
that.
nasty. Oh, no more pterygium!
Gone.
No more
There
pterygium!
we go.
That
It's so funny.
is the classic you. No more pterygium.
You've never seen my eyes without pterygium before, so it was great to see that.
That's true. Yeah. So so that's really, the thing that was interesting out of that, I thought, was your perspective for people that have cataracts. That
Oh, I promise you.
yeah, because you just had pterygium, but you had to live with that patch.
Just for one night, I had
Yeah.
that challenge, and as you said, the depth perception
Mhm.
loss was
Gone.
just gone, and it was just serious.
Mhm.
But can you imagine somebody who have that challenge, have to be walking, driving,
Yeah.
right? Kind of just living their life without having be able to see and be able to. Oh boy, I just feel like I'd love to just help as many persons as possible,
Yeah.
just to get back their life, just to be able to see again.
It's
Such a
really
huge part
amazing.
of life.
It's really an amazing opportunity we have in Jamaica, because even like in America, you don't really have that situation. I mean, Jamaica, because of the low access to care,
Yes,
we are
yes.
able to make such a big impact. It's sad that we have to that has to happen that way, but it is a joy that we have the opportunity to be that agent of recovery for them, in their life.
Absolutely.
Tell
Absolutely.
tell everybody, Julian, we got another maybe 15 minutes left. I want
Okay.
to talk about LIGO art and some of those things that you do. But you remember the day after surgeries, the person who said they could see the basin, that they could see the food, that they had a perfect surgery.
Yes.
Give everybody a little perspective of those kind of cases that we experience down there.
So not all the time you will find that, well, obviously for especially surgeons in the US, you prefer if after you've completed a surgery that this patient will have 20/20 vision. That is the real length or breadth of if how great your surgery was. For this patient, he had more than just one complication with his eye, and he was not seen, and so his sister had to be taking care of him. And after the surgery, he was able to see colors. He was able to see his food. He was able to see just the basics. It wasn't 20/20, but it was good enough. And she said to us that his surgery was perfect.
Yeah.
That his vision was perfect. And that was astounding, because perfect to us means 20/20 or better.
Right.
Perfect to her means that you are able to see, as she said, the basin. You can see where I eat. You can see the basin. And in Jamaica, seeing the basin means to see the bowl, the color of the bowl, or what you're eating out of. Because the bowl is the basin, right? Not bathroom basin.
Not bathroom basin.
No, not
Which I
bathroom
thought it was.
basin.
I'm like, oh, he could see to go to the bathroom. You're like, no, doc.
No, no, you can actually see the basin. You can see the bowl that he's eating out of. And so it was just a joy just to be able to say, to see that patient being so happy that her brother is able to see the bowl that he's eating out of. And I know that in the US it may be a lot more accessible for care to get cataracts done. And so as soon as you realize that you have cataract, you can go. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Between the money and the opportunity for care, it's a really hard, gut-wrenching place to be at if you can't afford it, one, or if you can't find the place that offers it free is overwhelmed. And so if you are able to find a ministry like ours who's able to do that for persons at a reduced cost, I would say if you can help, please do, because the lives have been changed, lives are changing, and there's so many more lives that need to change. So yeah, if you can help, even if you can't do full scholarships, if you can do part scholarships, $100, $150, there's so far that can get to. If you can do the 700 times 10, absolutely, hallelujah, go right ahead. But it makes such a huge difference.
You know, I just put up the missionofsight.org website down there so that if anybody does want to donate and contribute to cataract surgery for people who can't afford, that need sponsorship, you can go right to the website. Right, the first thing you see is donate. People get a giving receipt right then when they donate. And you know, it reminds me of how you should be on the road telling people about cataract surgery, because I always complain to myself about how I'm not good at asking for the sponsorship. But I'm reminded right now how we used to talk about, you know, Julian, you should be on the road if I'm going somewhere with me, or we should even send you to go tell folks about it. Because
somebody said when I was younger, because I like sales, I like selling, and selling a service like this, or just selling myself, is something that I love. And somebody said to me, and I no shame. I really do think that the worst somebody can say is yes or no.
Right.
Like, that's really the bottom line. I honestly just think that. So if can you help me? No problem. Thank you for your time. Can you help me? Yes. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Let's do this.
Talk about that.
Right? Let's talk some more. But that's really it, Doc. And in life, I think that's how I've gone through. Like, can you help me? No. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
I can't kill you for saying no. It's really it's yours. I'm just asking.
Nice.
So I'm ready.
Well, and speaking of that now, not that this is like some big way to help you, but there's something that you do for yourself. You do on your side. You do it kind of on your vitiligo platform, of so to say, is that you've got your LIGO art. Tell us a little bit about that, because I know when the teams come in, they're always all over your table with all of the pieces that you've designed. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
So a quick short story on that is I am what you call in Jamaica from a humble beginning. And so I remember growing up, my cousins, their mom would sew. And so they would kind of have the latest of everything, and she would make it for them. But my mom didn't sew, and she didn't have a lot. And so I really enjoyed just kind of trying to make myself pretty. And how I would do that, I would get whatever beads or cord, and I would make a necklace for myself. So if I found a nice stone or a bead, I'll put it on a string and I'll tie it around my neck. I was like, oh, that's my pretty piece right there, kind of thing. And then that moved on to be people being like, that's a nice little pretty piece you have there. And so you would say, I made it, and proudly so. And we was like, so can you make it for me, and how much would that be? And that started out into creating jewelry, and kind of I made this 3-piece pearl earring right there. I hope you can see. You can
You better
show
come
it off.
closer to the camera. We need to kind of see that a little bit better.
To come a little closer.
Yeah.
So I do enjoy making jewelry. I do enjoy painting, and I think it's a really big expression of myself.
Mhm.
And that's what LIGO Life Art is. And I don't know who should we give a prize for who guessed how the name came about? LIGO Life.
I think we should give a price. We'll sponsor
Let's see.
we'll sponsor a set for whoever can think of how LIGO Life came to existence. Dennis is asking, how does he order? How do you get that into the States? What?
Well, I have an Instagram page, LIGO Life Art.
Yeah.
LIGO Life Art. So if you go on that Instagram page, you see something that you like, or you could DM me, and I could make some products. You could see what it is that you like, and I will get it to the States, to wherever you live, to Canada, to Africa. I can't promise I'd send anything to China right now, but the the what
It's LIGO Life Art.
LIGO
LIGO
Life.
Life.
So LIGOLIFEART, LIGO Life Art. Have you seen that on
Is that it?
Instagram? Yep,
Like,
at LIGO Life Art. So you can actually go on, and I do have some photos of the items that I make personally, and you can make your order, or I can make something specially for you if you have something in mind, and we'll ship it to you. Yeah, that's it right there, LIGO Life Art.
Yeah, I should check it out. I know that. Hey, I'm part of the business too. I get to hustle down some of the goods to you, and I did a hand delivery to Meg Shepard.
Thank you, Doc.
Yeah. So my girls are wearing LIGO Life Art,
Mhm.
and it is fun. It's really creative. I love how it's an expression of you, and I think that's what makes it really more special. It's just not another piece of jewelry.
Yeah.
It's a piece of Jolene with them on there.
Yes. So if you want to take a piece of, and I do paint as well. So if you have a piece of wall in your living room or in your bedroom that you need a art piece on, I paint and I make
Yep.
jewelry, both male and female jewelry.
Well, nobody's come out with why it's named that yet. We still have another 9 minutes left, Jolene. So we're going to give them a little more time to see who can figure
All
out.
right, let's see who is the bright spark among
LIGO
our
Life.
listeners or watchers tonight. Where did LIGO Life come from?
Yeah.
Was that born? Where did it come from?
Nice. Well, as we close this down, I'd like to know. I'd like to know where you're going, Jolene. What's on your horizon? Like what's in your 2020 vision? I didn't prep you for this question, so I'm not worried about you answering. But what's on your 2020 vision? I mean, what's in it for you for 2020? Where are you going? What are you thinking of?
I would love to study. I'd love to go back to school and get something done. Just kind of some new knowledge. It's so important to keep you fresh and abreast and on top of your game. So I'd love to get some new knowledge, and that I think I have on my platform. Gaining some new knowledge, loving on some more people, being the best that I can be, as Rocky taught us. Why try to be your best self? Why don't you try to be your true self? So be the truest self that I know I can be, and just ask the Lord for His directions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually a good one that Rocky said. Don't try to be the best you, because you can't. Just be the truest you.
Just be the truest you, and there's nothing that can be taken from that. Because at some point, some days you're really not the best of you. But today is a messy day. I woke up late, just dropped the baby to school late, and the dog rubbed against my clothes, and I'm full of fur, and that's the truest me. That's the truest me today. And I just smile through it and give you the best that I have out of the truest me. My best self is not always filled with makeup, hair well done, nails did. That's never me, by the way. Never makeup here, never done nails, never did. But maybe, anywho, that's not my truest me. But that's not, also not the best me. That could be the best someone else. But
Yeah.
the truest you is really is what will really kind of set you free. Thanks, Lisa. That
Yeah.
truth will set you free.
That's the truth.
That's all you can do.
Well, it's been a great show, Jolene. It's been great to have you on. It won't be your last time. I know that we'll continue to have you on the show.
Yes.
And you've been a big part of the story. What would you say that your part of the story is? Like, if there was a chapter where you come in, what would you say you've seen or so? What could you tell us about that part?
I would say where professional eye care mission of sight is concerned, I would say my part of the story, or in terms of the entry, would be one of groups and getting those mission teams to kind of enjoy what they're doing while they're here, one, but two, just to be the face of PEC and the joy of getting people to understand that you don't have to go blind, and it's okay if you have one eye, one foot, one ears. It's okay. Be the choice you. Come in, see us. I think it's really just a platform and bringing a lot of love with it. Not an arrogant face to PEC, because that's not what we're about. We're not about arrogance. It's really just about love and treating people how you'd love to be treated. And I think that's where I come in, be it internal, be you a staff, be you being a patient, just kind of loving on you and helping you to understand what we're about. And I, be it a surgery team that's coming in, a student group that's coming in, just kind of showing you, showing up, showing off professional eye care. And it's very hard for me to separate the two, Jolene from professional eye care, and that's not a problem.
Wow.
And I believe whatever I'm in, I'm usually very, very, very much sold out to. And this is definitely one of the causes where you can cause people to have a new life by giving them new vision.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, your loyalty to what you do, like that's one of your qualities, or one of your somethings is loyalty.
Strength.
And
Yeah.
and you've been that to not just the companies, but to the people that we serve, and that's the, I guess it's one of the special things, and those that come and serve with us. So man, fun to have you on. I know you've got kids, you got little Alec to go home to, you got family to go home to, you've had a long day, and the dog rushed up against you and all the other things that are going on. But I want to thank you for being on tonight, Jolene. You've been great. And I know a lot of people have been blessed just to kind of hear your story and get to know a little more about you. And, I don't know if you have anything that you want to close with or not. I want to say something. I've been wanting to say it the whole night. Is I know a lot of these messages, all these nice things to you. The one thing you always say, you're going to make my white spots pink. Is that what you say?
Yeah, because you know that when you have white patches, or you just Caucasian, whenever you blush, you become pink.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to digest a black, white, and pink girl. So I try to just keep two colors at most, right?
Nice.
It's okay. I make joke about myself all the time, but it's such a blessing. I have something I'd like to say. Did you say what you want to say already?
I'm really done. I'm good. I'd like you to kind of say what you feel like you got to say, and then we'll close the show down.
Yeah. There is a lot of places that you could choose to be, Doc, and you chose Jamaica. And I know that the struggle can be real as a people, as a company, as just protocols, the red tapes. There's so many things that can discourage you and your family and just say, you know what, why don't I pack up shop? But you chose to stick it out. And so I just want to say blessings to you and Miss Rhonda, blessings to you and the children, blessing to your entire family and everything that you touch and everywhere that you go, because you have been such a huge blessing to the people of Jamaica, and you are worth every ounce of drop of blessing that the Lord pours down from heaven. And I pray that He doesn't just drop it in terms of droplets. I pray that He opens a storehouse and He just pours it down, that your hand get, when you're trying to catch water and it beating on your hand, that you just have to just let go your hand and just drop and just kind of just receive. And I prayed that for you and your family, because you could have chosen to be one disobedient, or you could have chosen somewhere else, but you chose Jamaica. And as a Jamaican, first and foremost, we want to say, bless up, Doc. Enough Jamaican blessing for you. Whole heap Jamaican blessing for you.
I love it. Boy, I think you're making my white face pink.
I've seen that. That's not my intention, but I just want to be real. You're a blessing.
We appreciate that, Jolene. And we need to hear those things, from time to time too, just to be reminded.
Yeah.
So, I know he brought you to Professional Eye Care, to Mission Assignment for such a time as this,
Yes.
And we're looking forward to all those blessings that it will drop on you as well, and that are dropping, and that they will pour down on you the same way, that you will be drinking out of the saucer because your cup is flowing over. Right? And we'll just continue to speak those things over all of us. And boy, Jolene, thanks for being on tonight. It's just been great. And I'm gonna do the little checkout, or the outro, as Ken calls it, and let everybody know that next week is Wednesday at 4:30 with Nurse Karen.
Okay.
So it's going to be a great show as well. So thanks again, Jolene.
Thank you, everyone. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
There we go.